So that's 2 shows a week for me, and the first one's on Wednesday at noon, the second one Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time with Deacon. So I want to take a little bit of time and talk about what we're going to be seeing on this show. I think this is going to be a unique show. It's only once a week, not every day of the week. And my goal here is to help you to recognize patterns, pattern recognition. That's really what my goal is here. So those that are interested in the scripture work, there's an hour and a half of videos here, 6 of them. There's my book, The Mystery Explained. There's a video for each one, and in the description box there are threads, posts. I give defending arguments. It's a lot of information right here, more than you could read in a year probably when you get into my book and all the posts and everything involved. Then the same thing developed. See, this section right here developed over decades, the information. And then that ended about 2005. Then up to 2010, this area was developed. And same thing, you have 15-minute posts, 6 of them. And these are the foundations, the foundational videos for understanding what really happened at 9/11. And then in the description box you should find, if you can't find it, then write me my book, 9/11 Truth, the exposing the Cheney Rumsfeld black operation. So this is the pattern that I'm using to help other people recognize the truth. Now this is the section I'm a little ashamed of, but there's a big difference in this Black Star investigation than Scripture or 9/11. In the 9/11 investigation, I began about 5 years after the attack, so there was a lot of documentation, even new documentation that people didn't have right after the attacks. So I was going through documentation that already existed. All right. With the Project Black Star, then it's different because events are continuing to happen, and that sometimes things are changing. We have to have multiple models running at periods to be able to try to figure out what the heck is going on here. Lots of earth changes, a lot of geopolitics, lots of stuff happening. So these areas in these books were written when I could draw a definite conclusion. I know what the truth of Scripture is, and I realize how that sounds, because there's thousands of different interpretations, but there is a truth. There's only one truth in the way that God intends for us to interpret a Scripture, through 3 witnesses of spirit, blood, and water. And it's like knowing God's secret and seeing it from the inside to the outside. So I have decades of experience in this, and I'm ahead of you on the path, but I'm trying to help others to come along to the same place that I'm at. And the thing is, in creation and Scripture, they are the same thing. They are the same thing once you interpret Scripture properly, right? And many of the explanations that I'm going to give about this area has basic truths that begin here. So whenever I get into the complicated explanations of what's going on with the Black Star, which is talked about in Scripture under a different name, then you're going to, if you really want to know what the truth is and you're going to follow me in this investigation, then you need to have the foundation. We have to define our terms the same way, or semantics is going to destroy everything. The same as any group of researchers on any research project. So this is how it begins, and something that we all know about, Scripture. And this 9/11 affects us. It affects us all. Everything changed with 9/11. And the Dakota Report is what bridges these 2 investigations together. The Dakota Report, Project Black Star, and genocide, and the current ops, the lettered agencies, the CIA particularly, that emerged from this 9/11. That's what's in the world working right now. So this ISIS thing that's going on, CIA, the offshoot of it, it's an offshoot of 9/11. So if you will hang in there with me on these what seem to be old topics or boring topics, then as I'm making my explanations about current events and about Project Black Star, then everything is going to make sense. If you avoid the foundational part, then everything's going to crumble on you, and then you guys are, you're kind of on your own on that part. So there is a method to my madness, and I'm going to try to make Terrell Investigates, this radio show, different than every other radio show. And it's a red pill, blue pill thing, and I know that I have the red pill, and I'm offering it to everybody, but you can take the red pill or the blue pill. It doesn't matter to me. You can take either one you want. That's fine with me, because I know that I'm on the path, and I know that I'm working towards the truth in this area. I know that I have it here And that's what I'm trying to accomplish on this radio show. Then a little bit of information. This is in the description box. And I encourage you to get rid of your little noodle. See these noodle guys? That's because they don't have a handle. Get rid of your noodle thingy and register. You can register your username. There's a menu, there's a button that you push down here somewhere. I had to do it. I think it's this one. You go to the menu and you register your handle. That's what makes you recognized in here. So that's what I would do, and then you'll be like Vaubear. I just love Vaubear. She's the nicest lady in the world. And Nighthawk, you'll have a regular name like me, and it'll ask you to sign in. See my name right there? You'll have the same thing. And then when you ask your questions during the radio show, then you put your little cursor right down here, put your caps on. What do you see how it's capitalized? That's how you want to ask your questions. See, look above here, there's no questions being asked. This is just the information that came from the server. But when there are questions, those are the ones that come in caps, and then they catch my eye. And if you'll bold them and capitalize them, then I'll do my best to get to your question as soon as possible. It's difficult sometimes as I'm operating a server and trying to keep control over my guests, and I have to access my information. And let me show you. These are some of the topics that we covered with Deacon John. And by the way, I want to thank Jody and Michael signed up to be Terrell's 2012 newsletter subscribers. I appreciate your support very, very much, and I look forward to helping you, answering your emails. Now you have my email address. You can write me, and you join the others that I answer each morning. When you see something that looks kind of squirrely, you look something that needs a little bit of explanation, send it to me, and then I will include your question and my answer in the coming newsletter. And this is how the newsletters begin. At the top, my report is written on Thursday just before the upload. Then the video link goes right in here. And here's the news about the radio show that has to be changed. I actually made another video, and then all the information changed. These are the two. So this is coming out this week, and I will be posting the free link to this newsletter in the chat room for you guys. For those that are not newsletter subscribers and you're looking for everything for free, then once upon a time I put those in the description box of these videos, but I no longer do that. Now you must come to the Revolution Radio station right there, just like I just showed you, right here, and this is where I post the link. I'll show you exactly how I do it. I grab the little link right over here, just takes a second, paste it right into here, and there you go. There's a link number to newsletter number 25 that came out in the previous week. See, right now I'm working on newsletter number 24. Then all kinds of interesting information. It comes from everywhere, and there's one on login procedures in the newsletter. Someone didn't understand, so see, when somebody asks a question, a newsletter subscriber asks, it helps everybody else that has the same question. And about the black star coming around the sun, Frank has a lot of articles in here. There's places where I agree with him, and there's places where I disagree, so all of that's laid out for you guys. And I intended to make a reply video to his original, but there's been so much information added that I don't think it's necessary. And then what's going on with the inbound comments and stuff. And at the bottom is always the radio schedule. This was from last week. I have to change it for this week. Up here it'll say Terrell Investigates, and I'll have the call-in number, the Skype number. Recent radio shows are right underneath. And then this is Aurora's show. I'm no longer going to be on at midnight on Fridays. Like I said, I'm going to be on Wednesdays and Thursdays, noon and 4 o'clock. So all that information is always right here, and you always have links to recent shows. The ones that just happened last week and the week before that. Or if there's a particularly good show that took place even a month ago, then I'll have the links down here for you so you don't have to go chasing around and looking for radio shows. And then when you guys send me links to other radio shows, it can be anybody, John Moore, anybody, then I generally put those right here above this radio section. So there's hours and hours of radio shows that newsletter subscribers think are important. And here's an article on the underground tunnels videos from Bonnie. So there's all kinds of information that comes in from everybody. So it's like together as a group, then we have eyes that are everywhere. And then we all share. I'm the guy that sits in the middle of the research team and disseminates. So what's relevant, what's not relevant. We like to have health related, survival related articles. They appear near the bottom. There's Bible related. When people ask questions, I give the answers. That usually appears right above the survival section. People are asking for more plain talk because the terms used in my book and in my videos are apparently a little difficult for some people, and so they want more plain talk. So in reply, I say, bring me plain questions, and then I'll do my best to be as plain as possible. What the Bible ministry is really looking for is a group of people to come along, to pick it up and carry it. I can see it very clearly, but being members of one body means that we have eyes and hands and feet and shoulders, and I'm the eye. I can see it, but I'm very critical, and people will tell you that, extremely critical, but that's what the eye does. That's the kind of eye you want. But I need help. I'm just one member of the body, just an eye. And so I've given the hour and a half of videos. I've given the Mystery Explains, like 400 pages, 80 diagrams, and now and it's not going to be published until there's an uprising somewhere saying that I need to. And that's really just not happening. So at this point, maybe it will in the future. Oh, before I run out of time, then I wanted to show you a developing story in this picture. I'm not going to be, here it is. This is how fast the magnetic North Pole is migrating right now. It's very, very quickly. And look at the period right through here is when we had all of these quakes right here in April. All right, and then we got look at May 20th. That was my date, May the 20th. Look at May 21st. That is when the turnaround came, and now this baby's heading blah, 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 straight back up there. This appears to be because we're crossing the orbit path of the black star, and then we begin moving away, and then this happens.